What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I think I have a doozy, and that's because the beer I'm reviewing today comes from the Plan Bee Farm Brewery, and they're out of Poughkeepsie, New York. And this is their Bloody. So let me read the side of this because there's a lot of moving parts in this one. So they're calling this a Brunch-style Sour Ale, and it says it's brewed with homegrown heirloom tomatoes, Tabasco peppers, celery, horseradish, lemon basil, lime basil, beets, and a touch of Amagansett sea salt aged in pickle barrels. What the hell? Comes in at 7.2% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. At the time of review, I have no idea how old this is, but this was first entered on Untapped back in early to mid-November, so we're probably looking at just over 2 months old. So obviously, they're going for a Bloody Mary cocktail-inspired beer. There are a lot of crazy ingredients in this beer, and you know what? If a brewery can pull it off, I think Plan B would be one of those breweries because they do some very unique stuff. They do a pickle beer that apparently a lot of people enjoy. I have not picked that one up yet. I saw it on shelves, and I passed on it, and then when I went back, it wasn't there, so I regret that, but if they do rebrew that again, I'm going to be all over that one. I also reviewed their Autumn as part of the 10 Days of Pumpkin, and that was just a cool take on a pumpkin beer. It was delicious too, just to be 100% honest, delicious. So this one, not a huge Bloody Mary drinker or anything. You know, I've had them before, but it's just like, you know, it's not something I gravitate towards. But when I saw this, I was like, even if this is a terrible beer for my palate, it should be at the very least quite interesting to review. So we're going to do that. Anyway, let's crack this open. It has wax on it, but Plan B does a really good job of not going crazy. It's a thin wax, so yeah, we're fine. Anyway, let's give this a pour. I don't even know what to expect. So despite all those ingredients, I'm gonna go like halfway. I don't want to get crazy here, you know what I'm saying? This pours out like a typical, I mean, I'd imagine they're just, basically this is like an American wild ale, or just like, you know, just something in that vein, or like a farmhouse ale, the base style. But yeah, that has a lot of carbonation, pours out this very vibrant, like, honestly, it's a little bit more murky and unfiltered than a, say, like a macro lager, but it has a macro lager look to it, very like bright golden straw color. It had a like half finger of a bright white head that has dissipated, lots of carbonation. But yeah, I mean, that just kind of looks like fizzy yellow beer, but I know it's not going to smell or taste like it. Let's get a nose. Fucking weird. That is weird. So first off, the pickles. They're not using pickles. They did the sea salt that was aged in pickle barrels, and I'm actually picking up on like a dill pickle presence here. It's starting to smell like a Bloody Mary as it opens up. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, the pickles, predominant note right up front. And then those tomatoes come to the forefront. A little bit of that Tabasco pepper kick as well. It smells like it's going to have a little bit, ever so slight heat to it. Really not picking up on the celery or the horseradish at all. I would say this actually has more, for me, it's more akin to like a dill, like a spicy dill pickle. If you ever had a spicy dill pickle, that's kind of what the aroma is entailing for me. Like when you open a jar of spicy dill pickles, kind of what I'm getting in the nose. The tomatoes are there, but very subtle. And again, the celery, the horseradish, the basil, probably just adding other nuances to this beer, but not really like full-on aroma characters. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more I want to say about this other than it smells super unique, and I want to get into it. So cheers, everybody. Oh, wow, that's a bit more sour than I thought. It's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty fucking good. Now, would I say this replicates a Bloody Mary? Not really. There's not enough for me of that, you know, like the tomato juice. They're using heirloom tomatoes, but like the tomato juice that you get, you know, is like the primary base for Bloody Mary. There is nuances of those heirloom tomatoes, which really here though is a really nice like base farmhouse beer. Picking up on like this slight graininess. The lemon and the lime are definitely from the basil. Wouldn't necessarily say it's lemon, lime, basil, but like a lemony lime tartness underneath everything. The pickle, the sea salt aged pickle barrels are still the predominant note, giving off a dill pickle vibe, like with a salinity there because the sea salt's being used. Then the peppers are kind of the thing you're left with on the finish. It has a ever so slight burn on the back of the palate. This is fucking super refreshing. The body on this, oh, it's 7.2%. Can't even tell it's, you know, even alcoholic at this point. But the body is like, it's like higher side of light body, lower side of medium body. So it is thinner than you would anticipate from a 7.2% any beer, let alone a, you know, like a wild ale or a brunch-style sour as they call it. But that's fine because it really enhances the refreshing qualities of this beer. The mouthfeel, clean, crisp, well, relatively clean, crisp, very effervescent. Like there's a lot of carbonation here like you'd expect from the style. But there isn't a ton of lingering flavors. It finishes semi-dry with that pepper burn, with a little bit of that, you know, dill pickle character too on the back end. Yeah, this is weird. Like, if I did this blind, I wouldn't be able to pick out half of the ingredients that are on the bottle. But what I will say is that if you just handed me this and was like, hey, this is a very unique sour with a lot of things going on, what do you think about it? I think it's fucking tasty. That's what I think. This is actually surpassing the expectations that I personally set for this beer, which were not... listen, Plan B does really, really good beers. They are really great at doing like saisons and farmhouses and American wild ales. And this is kind of in their wheelhouse. So like I said, if I thought a brewery was going to be able to pull this off, it would be them. And I think they've pulled it off to a degree. I don't think they've necessarily nailed a Bloody Mary in beer form, but what they have nailed is a pretty tasty beer that has a lot going on, but it's not overly complex. There's not too many moving parts on the palate, and I'm left with a very refreshing, enjoyable beer. So I'm going to give Bloody from Plan Bee Farm Brewery, I'm going to give it a 4.25 out of 5. Probably as far as like enjoyment goes, probably a straight 4 out of 5, but I'm going to give it the extra quarter point because of the fact that all those ingredients are in here. They went for a Bloody Mary beer. They did something unique and different, and I think they did a fucking pretty damn good job of it. So give them that extra quarter point rating just for trying, you know what I mean? But anyway, if you like Bloody Marys or you want to try something unique, number one, try to seek out some of Plan B's beers because they do really crazy shit and they do it well. Plain and simple. And when I see beers like this from them, I'm going to always pick them up because I know they're going to knock them, not necessarily knock them out of the park, but I know they're going to do it justice to some degree. And they did this beer justice, and I can't be angry whatsoever about that. I'm pretty happy, actually. So, Bloody from Plan Bee Farm Brewery, 4.25 out of 5. Let me know if you've had this beer, if you've had anything else from Plan B. I think they do really damn good, tasty stuff. So, I'm going to pick up more of their beers. They are a little bit pricey. I think I paid like $11-12 for this at $3.75. That's expensive, but with everything going on with the beer itself, it's worth it. Anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by. To the next one, cheers.